weekend. So we're going to keep it a little bit shorter today. Last week was a little long, had a lot of questions, little updates. So we're going to be getting right into our meditation now. This doorway to wisdom. A lot of us have been going through these different trials and tribulations, these different opportunities and obstacles to really step into the fullness of what we were created to be. And in terms of, this path to truth, wisdom is really the application of it. And so we're going to unpack some of these different ways that we are capable of transmuting every little experience into a nugget of wisdom that will not only be a gift for our life, but a gift to others. So go ahead and get your last few wiggles out. A little stretch if you need to. Really open up the side of the ribs, get some nice leans in. We'll have a nice, really clearing and grounding breath. We'll take a nice breath in through the nose. And a big sigh of relief. Ensure you can open that mouth, relax the jaw. And in that same light, we'll take 3 nice deep breaths together. And with our exhale, we'll transmute that into a mighty and powerful Om. Remember to open the jaw and relax the mouth. Singing an A note. As you close it, the U and the M will form naturally. With a big smile on your face. And take a nice deep breath in. And release the body of breath however you see fit. And we'll begin. Now is the time to simply relax. And just as you're approaching sleep, a quiet and gentle rest. No seeking, no chasing. Simply witnessing everything that is arising within you and around you. Again, falling in love with this practice, knowing that it's the nourishment for not only your beingness, the body receives the benefits, but also you, the soul. And when you hear this final tap of the singing bowl, again, shift your attention to the sound of the bowl as it rings. And as it fades into silence, so too allow yourself to shift that focus towards the quiet, the calm, the gentle. It's these moments of stillness, of quiet reflection and introspection, not necessarily chasing and scrolling through your own memories, but allowing the body, allowing your spirit to unfold and unpack whatever it is that seems most pressing. And these can be observed as those random thoughts, those flashbacks of memories. But when we approach everything with a playful curiosity, each and every snippet of our life has the potential to transform into a monumental moment, one that allows us to recognize the themes and patterns that have been playing out within our experience, day in and day out, for years even. And the moment we recognize them for what they are, we instantly become liberated. But that is only part of the journey. For a knowing can only take you so far. It must be felt within the body, it must be known within each and every cell. And only then, when it is known in both this analytical mental plane, can it fully settle in the heart. I cannot tell you it'll take minutes, years, days. For everything in the divine, everything in terms of spirit, can happen at the snap of a finger. That is the magic of how we receive grace. For truly, Source operates in miraculous ways, and as creators, children, made in His image, everything that we can tap into operates in just the same fashion. But we must give ourselves time, the opportunity to receive such blessings. And that is one of many modalities that meditation serves as. This digestion of experience, this processing for the soul, this reassurance for the body. Take a step back from the intimacy, the immediacy of reactionary thought, of impulsive thinking. Looking at these most troublesome, conflict-filled, energy-filled, drama-filled, tension-filled, it matters not. What have you been having difficulties with lately? What has been pressing in your life as of late? Or in other words, what has life been showing you? What has life been presenting you in terms of opportunities to transmute, to step up, to step in? Looking at summer, what were the first inklings from this theme, this cycle, this pattern? How did it progress into fall? Getting more apparent, becoming more loud. And as we've entered into winter, what has been demonstrating an urgency to let go, to transmute, to surrender to? Just a simple introspection at the seasons can see a progression unfold as life operates a cyclic nature to it. So look within your beingness. It's here we have the opportunity to transform those past moments, those current knowings, into a deeper truth. For life is so simple, we can complicate it. But when we look at the themes in our lives, they always get more intense. They always begin gently. A subtle rock and a sway to jostle us up. But the more we double down on the vices, the more we ignore these subtle truths, life will begin to crank up the intensity, so to speak. Always testing you. So when it comes to this doorway to wisdom, what truth have you been ignoring in your life? What are these themes and cycles presenting you? What are the avenues and the opportunities that arise within each choice? It's in this processless process that we can come to understand that we are always in a constant process of refinement, always cleaning out the cobwebs, dusting within. But here you have an opportunity, as we all do, to live a life in which no dust, no cobwebs accumulate. In fact, we can live so pristinely that none of these old pathways of tension and chaos play out in our lives. We simply transcend them. And that is the power of wisdom. For we enter into a different mode of operation. We understand where our energy, where our resources have been leaking out of us, where we've been investing them poorly. And we turn it back to ourselves. We turn it back to source. It is a truth that each of us, with this gift of birth, inevitably will be met with that next opportunity and adventure of death. And that is a knowing. That is a fact. But what is life? It is this avenue and introspection of wisdom that unfolds those deeper meanings, that gives us the dance in which we can shuffle through, in which we can skip, leap, and bound through. Wisdom provides a confidence, an applicable pathway to utilize each and every truth we gain in this life. So, what is life inviting you to be more wise towards? Is it the everyday operations? Is it to be more present with life? Is it to be more loving, more open, more curious? Each of us have different lesson plans in this reincarnation. But all of them are a curriculum that will build our relationship with our Creator. That is a truth. And the wisdom to be gained from each lesson plan is unique. In truth, it's a blessing. But in this very essence, how much of our knowings, how much of our truths, with a capital T, those core values, how much do they align with our Creator? How much do they align with Source? One aspect in this journey in developing our knowledge into wisdom that we can apply each and every breath. Very much so reflects that search within our experience itself. Are you searching and serving out your own goals? Or are you making room and space to serve and live through and for the Creator? This theme will continue to arise within the collective service to self or service to source, for so many believe themselves to be on this path of the latter, in reverence, in action towards our Creator. But we must be very careful for this cul-de-sac. For in the beginning, the birthing of knowledge, the refinement into wisdom, it naturally has a path that will be self-serving first. For everything we gain in this life is meant to heal the body, Only then can the rider enjoy the adventure, because the horse that is our flesh will not be trying to buck or run away. So, the simplest path to avoid such mistakes is to always think of Source first, always apply it to our Creator first. And in this same understanding, we transform a knowing into wisdom by recognizing that everything in our experience is a rhyme, a reflection of where our soul, the core of our sense of self, is blocked from our Creator. The inabilities, the gifts, everything is meant to bring us into a position of returning home. A very pertinent theme for many now. So bring it back to you. Bring it back to your connection with that which lies beyond you, but unites every one of us. For it's that essence of our source that creates cohesive, unifying wisdom. And that is one of the warnings of a life that is in service to self, is that it still closes you off from others. It only reinforces this dog eat dog world. In your own life, wisdom can be akin to things that are related to Source and the operation and modalities of spirit, meaning our Creator works in miraculous ways. And when we think of that term miracle, what does that evoke within you? And is it a parting of the Red Seas? Is it a once in a lifetime opportunity? Is it one of those 1 in a million plus chances that we've gotten to receive and experience a gift, a winning, a prize? It matters not. For it's this sense of wisdom that knows that everything that can arise in our life, Source can provide it like that. Because our Creator is abundant, overflowing in truth. And in such aspects, these are the ways that we observe whether our beingness is aligned with self or Source. If we're feeling drained, if we're feeling tired, we're not being nourished by that in which we are doing. Again, look back at your life, those moments when you are at peak flow, when you are in your pureness. Time flashes by. You become radiating through activity and action, nourishing yourself through movement and spirit. Body and breath aligned, and the mind is still. That is your wisdom. The heart knows what is in alignment. The body can observe and tell you when it feels such alignment as well. But it is often our knowings, the logical mind, that create a transactional format of expression, that create the limitations, that create the doubts. So align with the wisdom of your spirit, for we are boundless, we are infinite in our potential. We are luminous, we radiate. But when we are not in alignment, things feel closed off. And that is the dance. That is the path that will lead you to this doorway of wisdom. What is the harsh truth that you are ignoring? How is your knowing only taking you so far? In the coming days, weeks, months, and even years to come, we will all be forced with these decisions. Will you do what is certain, what is known, what is comfortable and safe for the mind? Or will you leap off the edge into the unknown? For it's those lessons of wisdom that reassure us, that carry us through those moments of uncertainty with one common word: trust, also known as faith. So look within your experience. Again, reflecting on these themes and lessons from summer, and the continual amplification and intensity building of them in fall. And now in winter, those aspects of your life that Spirit has been urgently pressing you towards, recognizing, seeing, letting go, transmuting. Now we may know all of the attributes and characteristics, but there is still something holding us back. Continue to explore. Continue to be curious with not only the external world, but your inner environment. What is your beingness getting presented? What is your soul yearning for? And what is the body resisting? All aspects to calibrate your life into one that is more harmonious with not only source, but your soul. Wisdom is not given, it is earned through a simple day-to-day, moment-by-moment application of what you know aligns with you, source, and life. And we can refuse, we can ignore, but as we know and as discussed many times here in this channel, the longer you keep your hand on the burner, the hotter life will crank up the heat. So utilize this morning, utilize this week, every breath, towards stripping away what doesn't serve you, turning a knowing into your wisdom, and allow it to be those new calibrations for your heart to navigate this life through. For most of us have already experienced enough of this human life to gain wisdoms more potent and important, more meaningful and abundant than any treasure on earth. For they are the gifts that empower you to gift your talents, your skills, your superpowers. They are those attributes that allow you to be a loving, calming, present force for all whom you experience. So lean in, let go, live, and thrive. But most importantly, do so in accordance to the lessons you've been gifted, to the wisdoms that you've been granted to live out, to teach, to demonstrate, and to inspire. When you hear the next tap of the singing bowl, again, we're going to shift our attention to the sound of that bowl as it rings. And with our exhale, we'll transmute our breath into a mighty and powerful Om. With a big smile on our face, release the body of breath here. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Thank you so much for tapping in. I hope you all have had a great morning. Interestingly enough, I don't see any type of chat on the side. YouTube's being a little funky. But I do have some questions. Technically just one from IG. And it's pertinent, so we'll answer it along with some of our breakdown. From Billy, how do I quiet my mind? And I think that's one of the nuggets of how each of us has knowings in our day-to-day experience, that when we apply this aspect of presence, of inquiry, of curiosity with these snapshots of life, we can gain a deeper wisdom. And I would recommend each being, if that question resonates with you, like, how do I quiet my mind? To first know this: the mind is not yours to quiet. You are not the mind. That's the first step. The mind is just, sensory feedback from the body. It's kind of like, you're representative of all the different things it's perceiving. Some things in this sense also are more energetic and spiritual. The mind operates more like an open mic. So if you're around certain things, people, you might notice certain thought forms and energies being more hyperactive or still, depending on whose presence you're in. But when it comes to this applicable aspect of knowledge into wisdom, we can look at it kind of like this. Those moments that we have in life of when the mind is quiet, what's going on there? That takes a moment from knowing and turning into wisdom through building the understanding of the why, the how, the kind of like 5 questions for a book: who, what, why, when, where, and how. And in this sense, those moments when you are in flow, in harmony, in peace, there's no mind. That's when you're experiencing life at its peak. You're just living simultaneously and doing. So what did you do in those moments? I kind of have to hold the mirror up and point that question back at you, because that's how we each come to our own wisdom, that truth for our soul in the day-to-day. Simply put, when we are so present, when we are just here for this show, immersed in the play and allowing life to just flow through us, it's a shift of our focus. Now, in the external world, a lot of people love moving meditations because the body has a task to do, and you can simply watch and observe. And it's in that just openness. It's kind of like the dilation of our spiritual eye, our presence, our beingness itself, the frame of, the soul expands and more of source flows through. But when we focus on thoughts, when we become consumed by the distractions of the mind, we contract. We give the thought form more life, and then it just creates this never-ending cycle. So in order to, quiet the mind, you must be mindful of where you are shifting your awareness towards. Plain and simple. And, when it comes to shifting it towards the gap and the space in between thoughts, that's one aspect that will help you quiet it. But I've found personally the most potent one is to simply, it's like a play of old wisdoms of, can the observer be seen? Can the witness witness themselves? Simply be present of your own awareness and what thoughts feel more intimate and distracting. And then continually bring yourself back to that I am, I'm just watching them. I'm just witnessing them. And through time and practice, life will grant you with those moments of aha, those intense, giant separations where you no longer have an intimate feeling of your thought. And that's what we can call the awakening of the mind. So, anyone that really wants to transmute and transcend thought, you have to sit with the mind until you recognize you're not it. That's all I can tell you on that one. And it's different for everyone in terms of their dedication for each of those attempts. But it can be done one and done. If you have the dedication, like the fire of I'm not going to get up until I figure this out, it'll happen. Because ultimately, in order to experience, you have to entertain it. So you have to have that why not me approach. I can do this. I'm created in God's image. I'm a creator. I could do that. And I'm here to tell you that you can. Many people have. So it's kind of our birthright, but we just get lost in the sauce. Now, in terms of transmuting all of our knowings, all of the knowledge we've gained into wisdom, if I had to spark note it in one little thing, I would just say give yourself time, map it out. Everyone that I've experienced thus far has been gifted their lessons in order to be transmuted pretty early on. Most of us, when it comes to life and the chaos that plays out in adulthood, it really is just, I guess you would say, like a reflection or a rhyming, of something that has happened a lot earlier in our life. And again, life just, increases the intensity. It creates more of the drama of the show, to really catch our attention so we can unpack it. And ultimately, we can't turn anything into wisdom if we're still going to have a victimhood mentality. And that's not to say that, in life we can be a victim. We do get hurt and taken advantage of, and, the list goes on of all the things that can happen to us. But the real doorway that we can cross through, a threshold that is a tension point for many, is that transmuting this happened to me, that this was for me. And in that journey from to me and for me, that's a very clear pathway and doorway to the wisdom in our life. So may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may our love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I love you so much. I'll drop in with you next Sunday. Got some things cooking. We'll figure out when we want to launch it, but I really do hope that no matter what's going on in your life, that it's all for you. Everything's here to make you a stronger, more powerful, more loving person, and to really connect you back to your soul. So take some time, gift your gifts to the world, and really have confidence in the wisdom that you have. It was given by God. And only you have the angle and window of awareness that you have, which is a unique perspective that no one else has. And we all may have very rhyming truths and teachings and experiences, but ultimately, you're medicine for someone. And the longer that you shy away from what you were born to be, that's some people getting lost in the cracks. So a rising tide lifts all ships. I really implore you, have confidence in what you've lived through. You don't know how much it will change someone's life by simply expressing it, by living it. So with that, I love you. Take it easy. Peace.